It is no news again that the security service chiefs in Nigeria are destabilized, which this group uncovers plot to destabilize Nigerian military hierarchy. The military hierarchy in Nigeria has been something that is not to be right home about. The Center for Justice in Africa, CGA, has said it has uncovered a fresh plot by the International Criminal Court, ICC, Amnesty International, AI, and Transparency International, TI, to destabilize the Nigerian military through a fictitious report. The center, which raised this alarm at a press conference on Monday in Abuja, also revealed that the leadership of the armed forces of Nigeria are the target. Speaking on behalf of the center, Director of Communications, Comrade Dauda Olabi Abdulateef, noted that the three foreign groups have formed an evil alliance to undermine the Nigerian military. Comrade Abdulateef alleged that each time Amnesty was unable to hold back the armed forces, it outsources the responsibility to transparency internationally, which then brings corruption allegations against the military. The CGA also alleged that both organizations and more recently the ICC are operated by the same cabals and set of subversive saboteurs. The center, however, urged the federal government to immediately call Amnesty and Transparency to order by writing formal complaints with cease and desist orders to their international headquarters. It further demanded that the FG set up a committee to review the countries and continued membership of ICC. Gentlemen of the press, it is with the utmost sense of national duty and responsibility that we invite you here today. Our invitation is out of our concern for an escalation in the onslaught of subversive activities against the Federal Republic of Nigeria by organizations that ordinarily are expected to promote the corporate integrity of nation state. The organizations we are referring to are the International Criminal Court, Amnesty International, and Transparency International. These organizations have turned themselves into tribunals that exist only to preside over the affairs of Nigeria. They are specifically targeting the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and in a manner that undermines the ability of Nigeria to address the problems of terrorism and extremism besetting it. It is interesting to note that these organizations have perfected the subversive operation they are running against Nigeria in a manner that makes it appear as if they are running their legitimate day-to-day activities. The ICC, for instance, announced Nigeria's military officers and commanders in a way that appears as it is legitimately investigating war crimes and crimes against humanity. Amnesty International keeps up the charade of pretending to monitor adherence to human rights protocols, while Transparency International has perfected its strategy for finding corruption in transactions that never took place. Several Nigerian groups and organizations had in the past expressed concern about the true intents and agenda of these organizations without Nigerians paying heed, or the recent declaration by ICC that it has grounds to investigate Nigeria's military for rights violation in the war against terrorism in the northeast of Nigeria. However, this is merely a facet in the misguided report from the ICC. The other subversive contents in the report included that it placed the Nigerian armed forces on the same pedestal with Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists. This was no error or accident. It was a calculated attempt to diminish the country's military and elevate Boko Haram fighters to the level of a national army ahead of when its Amnesty International allies with market a negotiation program. Nigeria will then be concerned and cornered into negotiating with terrorists as if they are sovereign country. Worryingly, Boko Haram ISWAP is merely a card in the evil plot put together by ICC with its Amnesty International and Transparency International collaborators. The ICC reports clearly identify other weak cards in the nefarious agenda. It listed the Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, and the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, as victims without acknowledging the crimes they have committed against Nigerians and continue to commit. It also failed to properly name them as terrorist group, which suggests that ICC is prejudiced to the point where it has refused to recognize Nigeria's competent judiciary that prescribe or proscribe these groups. ICC had consequently lived up to its billing as a lynch mob that exists solely to vilify, victimize, and humiliate African countries by dragging their leaders before it, even when no crimes are committed. With the flip side that leaders of some countries can order drone strikes that kill women and children on an industrial scale or invade sovereign nations to ruin them without being held to account. This racist disposition has been repeatedly reinforced by the ICC, and it seems it is now on the path to becoming rapid with its latest incursion into Nigeria. Additionally, facts about the ICC's activities is that the so-called evidence it relied on to decide to investigate the Nigerian military was largely produced by Amnesty International. The negligible portion of the evidence that was not produced by the international NGO was sourced from its local affiliates that have subcontracts to malign the reputation of Nigeria's security forces. A lot has been said about how Amnesty International sources its stained evidence. It coaches respondents on what to say and has even gone as far as using paid actors as interviewers. Its country director Osai Ojigo, during recent protests in Nigeria, infamously accused the military of committing genocide but could not provide a single shred of evidence other than to report that the armed forces have a practice of taking away evidence when she was pressed for proof of her claim during a television interview. The same Amnesty International had been implicated and in passing military intelligence obtained in the course of its work to Boko Haram terrorists. Such the insurgents were then able to invade military operations launched against them and simultaneously able to launch deadly attacks. Whenever the military issues classified advisories about areas that humanitarian and rights groups should avoid, Amnesty International passed the same to terrorists until it was found out, which promoted it to become more antagonistic of the military. We have not also lost sight of the fact that Nigeria was denied access to bioweapons based on lies that Amnesty International packaged as reports. This denial allowed the terrorists to boldly operate for a while until military leadership that came with President Muhammadu Buhari's administration found innovative ways to get the needed hardware and logistics to prosecute the anti-terrorism war. This ability to fight the war against Boko Haram and ISWAP and other brands of terrorists in Nigeria is what has relied and spoiled the Amnesty International to a point where it will tell just any lie to undermine the fighting capacity of the armed forces. You are listening to Independent TV 7. It must be further noted that Amnesty International and Transparency International are operated in Nigeria, same cabal. Today's World Press Conference is therefore to draw global attention to the evil plot by agents. We therefore demand that the federal government immediately calls Amnesty International. As for the ICC, we demand that federal government immediately set up a committee to review it. As for ICC also, Amnesty International and Transparency International, we want to put them on notice that the day of reckoning will eventually come and they shall answer for their crimes against Nigeria, because ultimately the will of a people becomes the highest court. Thank you for listening. For as you can listen, you have heard about what the ICC, the transparency, and the military in conjunction, what they have been doing to the citizens of Nigeria, to the humans in Nigeria, that they are not doing well. What are your comments? What are your reactions? I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more news, and also don't forget to share this news so that others can be aware. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.